Won Jong is an art teacher at the university. He's been there for a few years, but this time he's not one of the professors. Won Jong finds his leader David and can't help complaining to him. David told him that he was young and that he wasn't mature enough for the job. Let's talk about it next time. While they were talking, his wife's assistant, Elise, came out. Elise is Won Jong's schoolmate. After graduation, she volunteered to be David's assistant. Won Jong told Elise that if she could work as an assistant right after graduation, she would have a bright future. Elise smiled awkwardly and didn't say anything. Back home, Won Jong let out all his grievances. He always looked up to David, hoping that he would promote him, but he didn't realize that David was full of morals and benevolence. But he couldn't be trusted at all. He said he's unmarried, but now he's married to his girlfriend. The next day, Jin took his girlfriend, Dawn, to the Civil Affairs Bureau. He thought it was a sure thing, but then the old man told him that he had found him a job as a professor in the name of adult education. Won Jong doesn't like it. It's not a real professor. He's not going. David told him that it's just a way to gain experience and that a professor at an adult education college is not a serious professor.
Okay, Won Jong compromised. The first day of class,
Won Jong looked at the students who came to class, and the passion in his heart faded to half. When he looked down, he saw a beautiful and gentle young woman. Instantly, his passion returned. After class, he left Ju-Hee alone to instruct her, but in no time, after some instruction, the two of them made love. In that evening, Won Jong sat her day in the car with a satisfied look on his face. He thought that this adult education college is still a good place to be. Won Jong called up another girl to ask her out. This is an old flame of his. Won Jong felt that he had neglected her recently, so he wanted to make up for her. But the girl didn't care. She even told him not to come back after all. He's already married, and gave him a parting gift. Won Jong went home and put the gift in what he thought was a safe place. But he didn't realize that Dawn would find it without realizing it. Dawn pretended he didn't see it and put it back where he found it. Dawn loves Won Jong so much that she's afraid of losing him, so she'd rather turn a blind eye to some things. After breaking up with his old flame, Won Jong put all his feelings on Ju-Hee. Every time in class, he would look at Ju-Hee with affection. Ju-Hee would always bow her head shyly in this relationship. Won Jong was just a prodigal son, but Ju-Hee was really in love. That day, Elise finally couldn't stand David anymore. She quit her job. No more big deal. Just don't stay in school. What's the big deal? Without his assistant, David immediately contacted Dawn and asked her to come back as his assistant. Dawn was a bit reluctant. After all, she is now married, more or less inconvenient. But David was firm. It was an order. In the evening, after Won Jong's work, Dawn talked to Won Jong about it. She wanted Won Jong to help her convince David. But Won Jong doesn't care and says that she used to be David's assistant, so it's no big deal for her to go again. In fact, Won Jong doesn't like Dawn at all. Dawn was introduced to him by David, and in order to please David, he did everything he was told and fell in love with Dawn. Won Jong thought that Dawn was simply working as an assistant, so he didn't care. But that day, he learns from Elise that being David's assistant isn't that simple. He was devastated, although he didn't love Dawn. He was his own wife after all. David had gone too far, but what could he say? He was counting on David to get a promotion and a raise, so he went to Ju-Hee to relieve his depression. Won Jong doesn't realize that Ju-Hee has really fallen in love with him during the date-up 2-day relationship. She got divorced and wanted to marry Won Jong. How can that be? Won Jong didn't think so at all. He told Ju-Hee that they shouldn't contact each other anymore. Ju-Hee is heartbroken. She can't believe Won Jong would be so heartless, so she carries her bags and goes to wait for him downstairs. She finds the suit she gave Won Jong in the trash can. Won Jong was really so heartless that he threw away all the tokens he gave him. Broken-hearted, Ju-Hee goes to the river and leaps down, but it's too late for people to find her. David was told to collect Ju-Hee's belongings. Yes, that's right. Ju-Hee is David's wife. David saw a picture of her and Won Jong on his wife's cell phone. He realized everything immediately. He found Won Jong and beat him up. He didn't see much because of the low light in the room. He hit him so hard, he cracked Won Jong's head open. So, he took Won Jong to the hospital immediately. Dawn rushed to the hospital as soon as she got the news. She cried bitterly. She hoped that Won Jong would wake up. That's the end of the story. This movie is modern history of madness, the tragedy of promiscuity. The assistant professor of the school, a painter, is about to marry a schoolgirl, but is also a promiscuous date, screwing hostesses, wives, and rich women, only to find out that his wife was screwed by the professor when she was a model, and the wife divorced for the painter and committed suicide after being rejected by him, and the professor, who is the wife's husband, finds out and kills the painter. The hostess lover is a doctor who is married to the rich woman, and when the rich woman finds out, she betrays the hostess for the sake of her property and stinks up her job, and the hostess commits suicide. This is Seahorse Movie. This is Seahorse Movie. Goo 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 goo.